MyOutdoorTV is your home for every Major League Fishing 2023 event.
Yes, sir.
Including the new General Tire Team Series.
I put the team on my back, baby.
Watch free on MyOutdoorTV with promo code MLF30.
The elimination line is either your best friend or your worst enemy.
There's 8 of us out there, and you got to be 6 or better.
It's the hunt. You know, you're hunting down those other anglers on that score tracker.
You're really worried about what the 7th place guys got, because that's where you do not want to be.
You're not looking around and seeing any guys that you're like, I'm not worried about him.
Never out of it until the last second ticks off the clock. Get in the boat.
There we go, baby.
Yes, sir.
Did you see that?
Yes.
That'll keep us going.
General Tire's Major League Fishing. It's the Academy Sports and Outdoors Heritage Cup from Knoxville, Tennessee. Presented by Magellan Outdoors.
Honestly, there's a lot to look at here with the lake being as low as it is.
This lake level fluctuates a whole lot, so it's very different than we were here before, so that'll play a role.
We've got a huge zone here. It's basically the whole lake. I mean, it's like almost 30-mile section here.
I'm gonna start headed south. That's where the majority of the water is. Probably goes about as far as we can.
Hopefully we can get in one of these bigger creeks and find one of these creeks that has some shad in it.
Even though it's cold air temperature, the water temperature just hasn't caught up with it, which will make that fall fishing as fun as it can be.
All right, here we go.
Welcome to General Tire's Major League Fishing. 24 anglers have assembled in Knoxville, Tennessee to compete for the title of Heritage Cup champion. Today, 8 will face off in Elimination Round 1, but only 6 will move on to the sudden death rounds, putting them one step closer to the Heritage Cup championship. Let's meet today's group of anglers.
Qualifying out of the Bass Pro Tour, Oklahoma native James Elam. He is the Puma, Arkansas native Stephen Browning. 2020 Challenge Cup champion Jeff Sprague. Joining us from Texas, Alton Jones Jr. He has 47 career top 10 finishes, Todd Faircloth. 2012 Angler of the Year, Brent Chapman. Some call him the Rooster, Alabama native, Greg Vinson. And one of the most experienced MLF pros, Paul Elias. The anglers are not told where they'll be fishing, so it's crucial they pack for every situation. James Elam shows us how he prepared for the unknown in today's General Tire, Anywhere is Possible.
What's up, guys? We're in East Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee this week, so we've got a lot of great lakes around here. It is fall time. It's starting to cool down. There are 3 key baits that I think that I can break down the lakes around here with. That's a jig, a spinnerbait, and a crankbait. I'm gonna throw a small spinnerbait. This is a little double wheel. I can cover a lot of ground with this. If we get some clouds and wind and good fishing conditions, I can cover some ground and fish the wind and you know, go down stretches of bank and really try to figure those fish out. Also, a crankbait's a very important thing this time of year, and I like a flat-sided medium diver, and that's what this is. I'll throw this a lot this time of the year in this part of the country especially. So that's something that can be very key. If the wind slows down, we get a little bit of calmer conditions, the bite gets tough, I'm gonna slow down, I'm gonna throw a small finesse jig. If we have any docks or any cover, I can slow down and flip around. That's one thing, that's a tool that I'm gonna use quite a bit. You know, no matter what day it is, that's something I'm gonna utilize. I'm confident that one of these baits is gonna lead me to a win on my day in the water.
With no practice and no information, the anglers only have 30 minutes to run the lake and try to formulate a game plan. With more on the options they have available to them, let's go out to Marty Stone with today's lake breakdown.
Chad, this morning as the anglers are going through their Mercury ride through, they're greeted to one of the most scenic lakes in eastern Tennessee, Douglas Lake. The particular zone today, it's going to be a big one. It's over 16,000 surface acres of water, 141 miles of shoreline, and 24 miles from end to end. As anglers are rolling through this zone, the cover choices are going to be pretty obvious. Starting with the bridges, there's several marinas throughout. There's a few boat docks that still have water underneath them. There's even laydowns. Most of them are found on the bluff walls. And the bluff walls have some very unique features about them, starting with the slate rock. And then there's huge boulders on these bluff walls as well. And then one of the most unique features on this lake is the abundance of shad. It's from end to end, bottom to bottom. And it's gonna be a frustration for the anglers because as they try to generate bites, they're gonna realize everywhere they go, they're competing with abundance of shad. In the fall of the year, it's normally always about a reaction bite. And to be able to do that, anglers are gonna have to use fast-moving lures, make a lot of repetitive casts, but bring that lure back in a hurry. That's how they're gonna get reaction bites, and that's how they're gonna be successful today.
Water's 72. That's a good bit warmer than I expected, but that's a good thing. Still warm enough. There could be a topwater bite.
The lake's pretty low. Feels like it's probably 15, 17 feet lower than normal.
We should be in 19 feet of water. Instead, we're in 3. But I like this watercolor.
Real clear water, which you have up in these big mountain lakes like this. You know, those fish their travel can go up, you know, up and down. As far as in the water column itself, they can be at a big range. A lot of times when you get in a little bit of dingier water, you know, it shrinks it so the fish aren't near as deep. And so that's kind of what we're basing this first morning's decision on.
You can see the balls of bait we've been driving over. This is the last ball of bait right out here in about 8 to 10. And then we really started to shallow up. And it just goes to show you where those fish were, or that bait's at.
This time of year, I like to find the best concentration of bait and then look for the best cover close to that.
The more I look around here, the more that there's just not that much for them to be on other than natural, you know, rock. And we're just going to figure out which rock it is, if it's going to be a point, if it's going to be a cut, they're going to be in drains, what are they going to be in, and put our head down and start fishing.
Well, I'm hunting a place that I caught them on in the past, a stretch of bank, and I'm not positive I'm remembering right because it's been so long ago.
I don't know if it's just this creek we're in, because where we took off from, it was fine, but we come up in this creek and it got foggy.
Nothing looks right.
We made it here safely. We did. Well, we're already making good moves this morning.
I came to the back of a creek, started on a bridge. We've got falling water and a little bitty constrictor point. You know, it opens up back here in the back flat side of the creek. So as this water drops, this should just be a funnel, current, high percentage, right? A creek channel right here. So it's a great place to start.
This is definitely it.
There's a lot of bait in this little pocket right here. Got kind of this mixture, little chunk of rock and docks and things like that. We'll see if we can catch some.
You'll find expert bass fishing know-how from Mercury MLF Pro Team anglers at MajorLakeFishing.com/Mercury Pro Tactics.
General Tire's Major League Fishing is brought to you by Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive. General Tire. Anywhere is possible. Berkeley. Your fish, our science. Wiley X Eyewear. Go confidently. And by Kubota. Together, we do more.
As you can see, I can barely see the bank.
We ran into a big fog bank, really soupy, and with that, you can't really break down a lake very easily when you can't see more than 20 feet in front of the boat.
The year I won Angler of the Year, we fished here, and this was my worst tournament of the year. But I learned a lot.
It's Elimination Round 1 of General Tire's Major League Fishing. 24 Bass Pro Tour anglers have traveled to Knoxville, Tennessee to compete in the Academy Sports and Outdoors Heritage Cup, presented by Magellan Outdoors. Our first group of 8 anglers have chosen a starting point on Douglas Lake and are ready for lines in. Today's elimination round will consist of 3 periods. A scoreable bass must weigh at least 1 pound. The top 6 competitors at the end of the day will advance to sudden death and move 1 step closer to the championship round. Major League Fishing's Elimination Round 1 begins now.
The beginning of hopefully a great day.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lines in, beginning period 1.
Heritage Cup, kicking off, boys.
Looks like there ought to be a bass in here. Here we go.
First time I've made a cast a glove on in a while.
I got a little shallow running Strike King crankbait on here, and generally this time of year, I normally always like to try to fish a shad pattern color. Usually that's what the fish are feeding on.
That's the thing about a lake like this, just that it all looks the same, it's all rocky, and sometimes all you can do is put on a moving bait and cover as much water as possible.
Water's this low, you don't have a whole lot of cover in the water. When you find a good piece of cover, pay attention to it.
You can see up here in front of us, that brush up there in the water, that's kind of what I'm hoping that they're going to be around.
Stay on there. There was one there. It just took a minute.
1 pound, 7 ounces.
All right, we're on the board. I almost didn't make that pitch. I was like, I got to make one more. I was like, is that my line swimming off?
Greg Benson, first angler on the board, 1 pound, 7 ounces.
1-7.
One pound, 4 ounces.
Skinny fella, start to the day. Ate the buzzbait. Ate the buzzbait.
Jeff Sprague is his first fish, 1 pound, 4 ounces.
Man, it looks like there ought to be a bass here.
It's gonna be one of those days where you don't need to catch but 3 or 4 or, you know, something like that.
Oh, no, 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 no. That was a good one.
That old signature rod is on time for that buzzbait.
1 pound, 9 ounces.
Right. On the buzzbait. Get a few more in the boat.
Jeff Sprague has caught a second bass that weighed 1 pound, 9 ounces. He now has 2 pounds, 13 ounces.
Sprague is landed on.
This flat transition rock is, we've had 2 bites off of it. Both of them been keepers on a buzzbait. And that fish was also on a point, but it's on a little bit steeper stuff. You know, this lake is down. It's just a comfortable place for those fish to slide up and slide down as the water fluctuates.
There he is. You go. Golly, Paul.
There he is. There's that fish I missed. He's down there, baby. No, he's not hooked good either. Get in the boat. Oh, yeah. That's why when you miss one, you always go back and try it again.
1 pound, 4 ounces.
1-4. Not a giant, but we're on the board. So that fish missed my topwater. We came back there with the square bill, and I'm sure that's the same fish. It was almost the identical spot.
Well, we'd be right there with him if I put him in a boat. He might have weighed, I don't know. But that's a long way to go for one bite.
When it comes to fall fishing or a place you're really trying to figure out, you can't go wrong with a point. So I ran over here and Now we're on the board.
Ooh. That's like, I don't know if it's because it's cold this morning or what. I'm like, I think that's a fish. It just felt like a leaf on the other end of it.
1 pound, 7 ounces.
All right, there we go. Another jig fish. They want a jig. I wanted to throw something moving, so they want a jig. We'll give them a jig this morning.
Greg Vincent's got his second fish. He's moved into first by 1 ounce.
Jeez.
What's his biggest?
It is 1 pound and 7 ounces.
So he's caught 2 1/7s, huh? He caught the same fish.
Yeah, 2 1/7s.
There's one. Stay on, baby. Little. I don't know if he'll go a pound.
1 pound, 0 ounces.
1-0. 1-0 with the first one. Sweet. Right next to a bass bird.
They're not just thumping it, they're just barely getting it.
Let's go see if we can't find us a bite.
Welcome back to General Tire's Major League Fishing.
Greg Vincent has moved into the lead now with 2 fish. His total's 2 pounds, 14 ounces.
Woo. All right, there we go. Another jig fish. They want a jig. I wanted to throw something moving, so they want a jig. We'll give them a jig this morning.
Greg Vinson moved back on top of the score tracker in a tight battle with Jeff Sprague, while half the field is still on the hunt for their first scoreable bass. Many of our pros have never been to Douglas Lake in the fall of the year, so they'll need to adapt to its conditions if they want to land Tennessee bass and avoid elimination. For more on that, let's go out to Marty Stone for today's Wiley X Eyewear, more than meets the eye.
This elimination round, the anglers have got several factors they need to consider in how they attack this particular zone, starting with the water clarity. The lower inches of this particular zone, the water clarity is 3 to 5 foot visibility. The upper reaches, it's 18 to 24 inches. Quite a contrast. First thing this morning, we've got bright bluebird steel conditions, and I feel like the anglers that focus on the individual targets, the bridge columns, the marinas, the laydowns, the few docks that are remaining in the water are going to be the ones that have success. And let's not forget, there's a ton of shad in this particular zone, and most of them are suspended offshore. Now, as the day progresses and the water warms up, and if we get any wind at all, these shad will get closer to the bank, especially around the vertical walls. And that's where the anglers can catch a lot of fish in a hurry. The anglers are gonna have to pay attention to the wind, the water clarity, and how and what cover they attack throughout this zone. If the wind happens today, it will completely change it. If it doesn't, it's gonna turn into a grind, and the anglers better focus on the individual cover if they wanna have success.
Boy, should have been a bass right there if they're on wood.
Even though I caught that one around the dock, there was some wood right there next to it, so we'll see.
If they're drawing the water down this much, that means there's a lot of current potentially on that main channel, and maybe that's the ticket here.
Stop up here on the bridge.
I think we're on the board, boy. He barely got it. Maybe.
1 pound, 4 ounces.
Number one, we broke the ice.
I see a trend. Do you see a trend?
Starting to catch some fish.
1 pound, 4 ounce trend.
I was just about to pull the Lowrance trolling motor up, and I saw some bait flicking on this flat out here. I picked up the Strike King red eye shad, and it felt like I had a bite right before that.
Right there will work. Quit swimming.
1 pound, 9 ounces.
1 niner, little jig, crawling that jig around. I mean, just crawling it on the bottom.
Stephen Brown just caught his first, 1 pound 9 ounces. He's now in third. You're tied for fourth. Well, shoot.
Got 6 anglers on the board now.
Be fine if just 6 of them caught bass and that's it. I don't wish nothing on bad on none of them, but it'd be nice if only 6 of them. That way we know we made it to the next round.
How about that? I love it when you make them count in a big way.
Feels good to get that first one, though. You just, as a fisherman, you just, until you catch that first one, you just always feel that little monkey on your shoulder back.
I expect it to pick up as the day goes on. Fish get a little more active with this sunny day, and the bait gets up and starts to group up. Fish will start to group up. Plus, guys, you know, every time you get a bite, you get a little something to go on, a little nugget. Need some more nuggets.
How far am I out of the lead?
1 pound 10 ounces.
Guys, there's got to be one here.
Yeah, we're on the board now. Smallmouth, look there.
Fish landing violation, 2-minute penalty.
Okay.
1 pound, 0 ounces.
You're real close. Hey, look at there, smallmouth, huh? I hook him on, a fish landing violation, but we are on the board.
God dang, I broke my line. It's unbelievable. God.
You just get enough bites, sooner or later you're gonna catch a keeper. I wasn't expecting it to be a smallmouth in the back of a creek like this, but I'll take him.
Oh, there we go, see? Get in the boat. Tell you what, sometimes it's all about confidence and just knowing.
1 pound 3 ounces.
1-3. Not a big one, but in this game of ounces, we'll take them.
Brent Chapman has caught his second bass. He is now in third place with 2 pounds 7 ounces. Moose Yu to fourth place.
I should let him have it a little longer. Give me another chance.
You're 7 ounces out of the lead.
Well, that's 2 fish on the same bait, so that's good. So who's not on the board yet?
Paul Elias.
Is that it?
Yeah. 7 anglers on the board. 2 of them tied for 6.
I am trying to mess this up big time. Typical me. Golly, Paul.
A wild one. He was where he was supposed to be. It almost got me in trouble with that cable.
1 pound, 13 ounces.
All right, there we go.
Greg Vincent's caught his third fish, 1 pound, 13 ounces. He's now at 4 pounds, 11 ounces.
He's run away with it.
That's an above average.
Took that big bass away from you.
Yeah. Dang, sap sucker.
Yeah, that one hit the jig again. That's a little pattern that works good around the house, you know, just fish that want to be shallow and the water's down, they don't have any other cover, and they got that shade, and bluegill and stuff, you know, get up under there too, so they got an easy meal and it's close to this ditch where the bait is. So we're gonna keep hitting things that look good, see what happens.
Welcome back to General Tire's Major League Fishing for the Academy Sports and Outdoors Heritage Cup, presented by Magellan Outdoors from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Trying to have me one of those days already.
This can be another one of those days where a big fish goes a long way.
I mean, all it takes is to get in one little area where all of a sudden these are, you know, 112s and 2.8s, and when you get good quick, it won't take long.
Come on, fishy, fishy, fishy.
The Tennessee bass have been elusive on Douglas Lake, but 7 anglers have made their mark on the score tracker. Greg Vincent landed his third bass, giving him 411 at the top of the stack and early momentum. Paul Elias is the only angler without a scoreable bass, but with 45 minutes remaining in period 1, it's still anybody's lake for the taking.
All right, Paul, you ain't that far behind yet, but you're getting there. Fishing like a moron.
Normally this time of year, you just keep the top water in your hand, you'll be all right.
I wonder if I shouldn't pick up like that DT. Try that.
That's a fish. Did you see that? How shallow that fish was? I mean, I thought I was hung on a rock.
1 pound, 0 ounce.
Oh my goodness. Fall time fish, look at that guy. No belly. That's like almost a 14-inch fish. He's just a rail. It's that time of the year where they don't have any weight to them. I threw over a rock that was threw up there so shallow, I couldn't even see. I thought I was hung on a rock on the backside, and it was actually a bass.
Jeff Sprague's caught his third fish, 1 pound, 0 ounces. He's in second, 3 pounds, 13 ounces. You're still in third.
So I guess I need to catch one.
He's good at fishing slow, so he could be. But he also could be burning up the bank. So it's hard to guess with Jeff because he's so good at everything.
That's crazy to look at and see where I caught that fish. Talking about, couldn't have been more against the bank if he tried.
There he is. Golly. Oh, smallmouth. Come here.
£1 pound, 11 ounces.
Number one. Yeah.
Paul Elias has caught his first fish, 1 pound, 11 ounces. He's in 4th place.
So everybody's on the board, right?
Everybody's on the board.
About time. Up to my old tricks. Let them get away.
It ain't easy. They're not on everything. It's just when you get one, it makes sense where he was at.
Here's one. Might be another 1 pounder.
Dave, that's gonna be a fish landing violation, 2-minute penalty.
Oh, I caught 2 things. I caught myself, got the fish. Let's try to weigh them.
£1 pound, 1 ounce.
At least he weighed.
Score tracker update. James Elam's moved into 4th. That's put you down into 7th. A scoreable bass will move you into 4th.
Sounds easy, don't it?
I don't think I've really figured anything out other than just, you know, throwing a crankbait early in some of this shady rock steeper stuff. I just hadn't had a good bite to tell me that that's an actual deal, you know.
We're just giving a little chartreuse on the tips and some scent. Really, early fall to me, that flash of chartreuse attracts the bluegill that are still up around the cover, around the bank. So the bluegill come running out there to check it out. That gets the bass's attention. He comes over there and eats it. But you've also got fish that are feeding on crawfish this time of year too, so it's a good, you know, 2-part deal there.
That crazy. Fish all down through there. Gets the last deal.
2 pounds, 0 ounces.
Man, I was literally turning the boat around.
Todd has caught his second bass that weighed 2 pounds, 0 ounces.
Probably caught it on that dock. I sat right there and told y'all when the sun gets up, he'll get one, there'll be one underneath.
It's amazing the difference between a 1 pound scoreable and a 2 pound scoreable. And like, it's actually hard to catch a 2 pounder. You know, you can catch a 112, 115, 113, but for it to actually be 2 pounds is kind of tough.
It's a Strike King flipping tube. I like to flip a tube in the fall.
Alton Jones Jr., you're in 8th place with 1 pound, 0 ounces.
Somebody's got to hold it down.
You're 1 pound, 7 ounces out of the lead.
The good thing is as I'm there, the thing that stinks about it is we should be leading this thing by a pretty decent margin.
4 minutes.
God. And they don't get him.
Come on, be a bass. Be a keeper. Yeah, buddy. All right. Like I said, I think we'll make another cast or 10 right here. Man, I knew it felt like a bite on that other one a while ago.
1 pound, 7 ounces.
1 second. Little offshore fish, how about it? Come on.
Stephen Browning's caught his second fish. He's now in 4th place with 3 pounds.
We're all in there together, aren't we?
Tough first period.
1 for 3, Paul. That ain't good.
Little worm on a wobblehead. That makes a good pair. I know where we're gonna start in the second period.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lines out. That's the end of the first period.
Whew. It's a grinder.
Well, it was kind of a disaster. I had enough bites to be right in the thick of things and let a couple of them get away, and that always hurts, but it's one of those deals.
That was a brutally tough first period. At least I'm in the top 6 cut, but we're gonna have to figure something out going forward with 2 more periods.
We're gonna come back out here and start and fish, probably may fish deep during the second period and see what happens.
We're just gonna keep running new water and hopefully we'll run into them next period.
We're gonna take this old Mercury bass cat, run it back down, reset, come out in period 2, retie some things, and maybe look at some different water, but kind of focus on those points, focus on that transition in deeper areas.
We held on for 1 round. It's gonna tighten up. We just gotta keep it going. Sun's coming up. That's gonna kind of, the fish will start to set up a little bit better. They may lift and get under the bait, but hey, it's a good start.
General Tire's Major League Fishing is brought to you by B&W Trailer Hitches, Towing Adventure, Yeti, built for the wild, Builder's First Source, combining to serve you, Mercury Marine, go boldly, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
That first period wound down. It was a good time for a break because where I thought I had some momentum, it really dried up there towards the end. And with that being said, though, I wasn't out of it. I was sitting, I think, in 5th place with like 2 pounds, and Greg was sitting in the lead with like 4-something pounds. So literally 1 fish and you're right back at the top.
I felt good that I was in 3rd place, but I also was pretty upset with myself that I had lost, you know, probably 6 pounds of fish as well. So that was upsetting, but also encouraging that I manufactured some bites, and I felt like, you know, going into the second period that I had something to run with.
The most important thing there in that first period was I ruled some things out. You know, sometimes in bass fishing, that's just as important as anything, is just ruling things out and getting them out of your head. Not catching fish can be just as important as catching them. I was gonna go hit some more steep banks that had shade on them.
It doesn't sound like much, 3 pounds after the first period, but, you know, I'm in 4th place. I'm feeling good. The best thing about it, I just caught one at the end of the period, and I have a lot of confidence. Strategy is deep crankbait, Carolina rig, drop shot. Let's go back out there and let's fish offshore.
I realize I'm not catching multiple fish off of any piece of cover. There's one here, one there. I don't feel like it's something that I can come back to and catch more fish off that specific stuff. I did have another little area in mind that was close to the ramp. I felt like having the lead going into that second period, that it might be worth giving it a few minutes and see if there was something to it.
While our pros regroup for period 2, let's check out the score tracker. Greg Vinson is our current Builder's First Source Angler 1 at the top of the score tracker. Todd Faircloth moved up to 3rd with the 2-pounder, the current Berkeley Big Bass of the day. But today is not about winning. It's about finishing in the top 6 to qualify for sudden death and moving 1 step closer to the championship route.
All right, here we go, second period. It's tight, you know, one big fish or 2 or 3 scorables, anybody's in it.
It's not, you know, just real stellar for anybody.
We just gotta keep grinding, keep getting bites, adjust with the conditions. You know, the bite might change, it may stay the same. I hope it stays the same all day.
The most important thing to know is it's really tough. It's slick and it's calm, and it's a tough time of year. Just gonna go see what happens.
Second period, guys start to kind of experiment a little more and dial things in.
I got about 20 rods out on the deck and got about 10 more in the rod box, and they may be out by the end of this period.
Yeah, I'm always looking for something different. There's a marina around the corner here, so we're gonna go check out that marina and see if we can't make something happen.
I feel like if I can go over there and get some of that offshore fish going, you know, a man can probably get him multiple bites in a very short period of time.
3, 2, 1, go.
Fast cast, fast, fast.
I know it's the right rock because there's a blue heron right there hunting in my hole.
There's not a whole lot of docks that have water on them, and these down through here look like they've got some water on them. So I'm gonna fish down through here and just see.
See, we got current here. It looks like we're in the back of a pocket, but there's current. We got another ball of bait here. I gotta figure out how to catch them.
How's there not a bass in that, buddy?
It's a little different look here, but it's just something I've got to try before we get to running around too much.
All right, be big enough.
Oh, he's got it. Gosh, dog it.
I don't know if he's gonna make it. He might. He's gonna be real close.
1 pound, 3 ounces.
Ooh, all right. I didn't need any more of those 14 ounces. This is, you know, this is different what I was doing before. But when you find fish around this bait, you know, you can catch multiples if you can figure out something that they'll bite.
Greg Vincent's caught his 4th fish. He's now at 5 pounds and 14 ounces.
Probably throwing a darn jerkbait.
That one hit the old trusty jerkbait. I've got some other little tricks in here to try on them, but that was a pretty decent sized group of fish that just came up. If we keep it going, this is how you can put multiples in the boat pretty quick.
There we go, baby. Boy, I had to work that one.
1 pound, 14 ounces.
14, that's almost a 2 pounder. That's a good fish right there. See, this is why I actually came in here. A lot of the big tournaments go out of this marina right here. You can see he's been caught before. This is just a high percentage play, so we call these retreads. These are fish that have been caught and released here.
Elton Jr.'s caught his 2nd fish. He's at 2 pounds, 14 ounces. It dropped you to 8th.
Y'all witnessing how you totally screw one of these things up.
Hopefully we continue to get a few bites in here.
There's a little bit of breeze coming. That'll help the fishing. It's a beautiful lake. A little bit better one. You had it for a while.
1 pound, 13 ounces.
113. Steep bank. Shade.
James Elam just caught a 1 pound, 13 ounce fish. That put him at 3 pounds, 14 ounces in 2nd. You're actually now sitting in 7th.
7th?
Yeah.
How far out of 6th am I?
7 ounces.
So 1 scoreable bass.
Yeah, 1 scoreable bass makes a world of difference right now.
Smallmouth. Jeez. That explains why he's running so hard.
2 pounds, 0 ounces.
2-0. 2-0. Fish in the shade.
James Elam just caught his 4th bass, moves him into 1st place with 5 pounds, 14 ounces. Greg, you also have 514. He has the biggest fish.
I need to answer that. James found something good all of a sudden, catching that many in one spot.
As slow as this tournament is, this thing can be won on these smallmouth. I know it can.
It's hard to build on anything when you can't get a bite.
Got him. See what I mean? I didn't even know that he was on there, and he's got it down to a stinking goozle.
1 pound, 8 ounces.
1.5-er. How about that, my friends? Look here, you little stinker. All right.
We're not out of it by any means. I just got to find somewhere that I feel good about.
Hard to be patient in this format.
No, that's nothing but Carolina rigging the bank. Now, folks, if you can't learn something from that right there, then you might as well pick a golf club up.
Welcome back to General Tire's Major League Fishing for the Academy Sports and Outdoors Heritage Cup, presented by Magellan Outdoors from Knoxville, Tennessee.
So hard to feel him bite.
1 pound, 8 ounces.
Got a little something going, I think. That fish looks a little bit more healthy.
That catches James Elam's third bass in period 2, giving him 7-6 at the top of the stack. Alton Jones Jr. moved back up to 6th place inside the elimination line, knocking Brent Chapman out. While most of the field is struggling to find the consistent bite on Douglas Lake, James Elam seems to have made the right adjustments. For more on that, let's go out to Marty Stone for today's 6-hour Success Insight.
In the fall of year, it's all about anglers making adjustments based upon the conditions they're given. Elam this morning started out in the back end of a creek working a crankbait, and that's what the book says do. Look for bait fish, go to the far reaches of the creek, and hope for some stained water. Elam had some success early catching 2 squirrels on the square-bill crankbait, but he realized the limitations of that particular strategy. Now, he's on the vertical walls. And any time you deal with a lake that's got severe drawdowns like we have here on Lake Douglas, these fish will move to those vertical structures. When the lake's falling and will continue to fall, fish don't want to move great distance horizontally. Instead, they want to be able to move up and down in the water column to be able to feed. Now Elam's having to deal with the bright bluebird and slick calm skies. On those banks, an angler would rather fish a topwater, even a crankbait, something at a high rate of retrieve to be able to trigger a bite. But because of the bluebird skies and the lack of wind, Elam's having to get a little finessey with them. He's using a small finesse jig, casting up into the shadows, letting it fall down fairly quickly to that first shelf, generating a feeding strike out of the fish that are there or slightly suspended off the bank. Elam has made some clutch adjustments, and that's why he's your leader in this second period.
I mean, I can't tell you the last time I've thrown a jig like this. It's been a long while. That's how I grew up fishing.
I don't think he's gonna make it. He might.
1 pound, 1 ounce.
Yes. Thank you, little fella.
Come on, Bass, give us another one now. They don't want to come in pairs, do they?
Make no sense, guys. It ain't like they got a whole lot of options.
Mm-hmm. 1 pound, 4 ounces.
All right, here we go. It went a little while, but finally got one to go.
James Greg Benson has caught a 1 pound, 4 ounce bass, moving him back into the lead, dropping you to second.
Dang it.
Gosh, I need one so bad.
There we go. Back on top. That's where we need to be. Just got to keep it going. There he is. Oh, no!
I would have to say most of these fish are still deep or deeper. say probably most all of us are just going down the bank, and it just don't seem like there's much happening.
Man, you think with the water level fluctuating like it is, that these marinas would be a perfect place for a wad of fish to be suspended, hanging out.
When it's tough like that, you cannot lose what you hook. And I'm 1 for 5. Let's go, baby, 1 for 5.
Uh-oh. Stay on there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's more like it. Man, I knew that big old log laying right there and all that trash. You know that's the kind of place you got to hold a fish. That's why I said I felt like I was fishing behind somebody.
2 pounds, 10 ounces.
There we go. There we go. That's what we want right there, y'all.
Greg Benson's last fish weighed 2 pounds, 10 ounces.
Oh, 210, wow.
Put it on the trailer, Buck. Put it on the trailer.
Vincent's figured out how to get bit. He's good jerk baiting. Good at jerk baiting. I could see that being a deal. If it's this tough, there probably are a lot of fish suspended.
There's 2 scenarios that I'm catching fish on today. All of them have been on the jig, except for the one schooling on the jerk bait. Those real shallow docks where those bluegill are sitting up under the walkways of the docks. And the other was just a good rock wood mix where you got about a 30 to 45 degree bank. And that's the 2 deals I've gotten bit on.
They don't come easy, do they?
A little. Be a pound.
1 pound, 0 ounce.
1 0. Sweet, that'll keep us going. 1 0. And one of those will make it easier in the 3rd period.
James Elam's caught his 6th fish. It was 1 pound. He now has 8 pounds, 6 ounces.
All right, we gotta get us another one.
I think we'll be hitting steep stuff the rest of the day. I mean, the only thing I see happening is running out of shade in that middle part of the day until like the last hour of the day.
Don't you come off, please. Okay.
Two pounds, 7 ounces.
I'm talking, slammed him. I mean, guys, I'm struggling to get a bite here. We finally did, it's a 2.7, so that's a good fish for the day, you know. Just rolled into the back of a pocket, flipped it, I lay down with a jig, and there we go. Been trying to catch one for the last 2 hours. Finally managed to snatch us one.
Wow. The old bladed jig's gonna fail me today.
Watch out, y'all. Coming in hot.
Welcome back to General Tire's Major League Fishing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's more like it.
2 pounds, 7 ounces.
I'm talking, slammed him.
2 pounds, 10 ounces.
There we go. There we go. That's what we want right there, y'all.
210 is big fish for the day.
Yeah, 210 is big fish.
So viewers, if you think it's not tough today, that just puts it into perspective right there.
The rooster, Greg Vinson, has all but secured his spot in the sudden death rounds. Aided by a 210, the current Berkeley big bass of the day, Vinson is 715 above the elimination line. Only the top 6 will advance to sudden death, and nobody is out of it yet. Less than 4 pounds separates 4th place from 8th. With 30 minutes remaining in period 2, one good hook set would shake up the score tracker in a hurry.
Man, 1 3-pounder would go a million miles in this thing.
There ought to be a bass in one of these tips of one of these little trees right here.
These fish are just moving and moving. They're just swimming under these docks, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Come on, little jig, drum up another one. You're doing a good job.
But I'll be honest with you. How about that one? How about that old 9-pound head? And I'm gonna tell you, that fish would be lucky. Look at this. I mean, that's what's wrong with him right there. He got a 5-pound head and a 2-pound, 4-ounce body.
2 pounds, 7 ounces.
2.7. I'm just gonna do it like this, make him look bigger.
Stephen Browning just caught a 2 pound, 7 ounce. Moved him up to third, moved you back down to fourth.
Sucker. He's gonna run trees now. I mean, junk fishing 101. I mean, write the book on it right here.
I'm gonna go fish more in some creeks. I'm gonna fish the one creek that's up here.
Get in the boat. Yes, yes, yes.
1 pound, 8 ounces.
1 pound, 8 ounces. That is a valuable fish right there. Ooh. Todd, you're in 6th place now. Brent Chapman just knocked you down.
Guys, I don't know. Gotta make something work. You could hit one of these pilings and catch 10 pounds in a heartbeat. You know, if they just act right.
You need 2 pounds, 5 ounces to move up a spot.
Oh, there we go. Please be a bass. What is that, smallmouth? Little tiny smallmouth.
I'm gonna fish some of the tips of these little points here that have a little bit more rock on them and see if I can't get a bite doing that. I'd like to go into the last period with a little bit of an idea of something to work with.
How about that? How about that? Look at me. They coming in like your tennis shoes. They coming in pairs, baby.
2 to a box.
Looky there.
2 pounds, 1 ounce.
How about that? Woohoo! Here we go.
Stephen Browning just caught another fish, 2 pounds, 1 ounce, moves him into 2nd place with 9 pounds even.
Uh-oh, here he comes.
Oh, Stephen don't cut it no slack. That's one thing for sure. You don't want Stephen Browning behind you.
That one acted just like that other one. I mean, that may be the deal.
5 minutes. £1 pound, 3 ounces.
Right. Man, I needed that. I got out here on the end of these points and started throwing this Strike King wobblehead.
Todd Faircloth just caught a 1 pound, 3 ounce. He's now in 5th, you're in 6th.
We're not out of it by any means.
They're biting. Get around them.
We may have found them. There we go, thank you, Lord. Got something to go off of now.
1 pound, 4 ounces.
Right, thank you, Lord. There we go.
Woo! 30 seconds.
I think I can get one in 30 seconds.
You know, if I advance, it's kind of not a good thing because I'm getting married next week.
Man, we needed that. Get the old juice going there.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lines out, end of period 2.
Same as period 1, I sucked, pretty much. I'm just terrible at this. That's all I can say.
I'm not a huge fan of Lake Douglas right now. It's not treating me real well. Granted, I did catch more weight that period than I did the one before, but we're sitting outside the cut line.
Well, that was absolutely brutal, but we managed to catch one fish and keep ourselves in the hunt.
Steady Freddy on that one.
Caught a couple on pretty much back-to-back casts on a Strike King wobblehead to end this period. So we've got something to work with next period. Hopefully we can get it done.
We're gonna go back where I caught the fish, and we're gonna keep a crankbait in our hand.
At the end of the day, we've kept ourselves in it, and we got 2.5 more hours after this break to come back out and try to make it to the next round. So sudden death rounds are where you need to be to make a championship round, and we got 2.5 hours to make that happen.
I think what we're going to do is spend the third period just running in these little old tighter creeks and looking for any kind of wood, little laydowns, and just start fishing the tips of these trees. I mean, that's a whole lot funner than out there dragging around, and I know y'all like it a lot better too. So y'all come on, we're gonna take a break, eat a sandwich, and get after them in the third period.
See a couple little things in here maybe worth running back to, and then that last period probably have to run new water, and just hope I run enough of it to stay up there. So far, so good.
General Tire's Major League Fishing is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. Squincher, hydration that works. Favorite Fishing, the future of fishing. Toyota, let's go places. And by Toro, count on it.
Welcome back to General Tire's Major League Fishing for the Academy Sports and Outdoors Heritage Cup. Presented by Magellan Outdoors from Knoxville, Tennessee. It's Elimination Round 1, and the anglers are on their final break of the day.
Hopefully we can make it happen. I don't think it's going to take a whole lot. You know, if I catch 2-pound-and-a-halfers, I'll probably be right where I need to be.
Some squincher, get hydrated, and hopefully catch some bass.
I really feel like one more hook set, we can go on to the next round.
I got something to work with now, I feel like, and I've got confidence going into this period, so that's a big deal in this game.
While they retie and regroup for period 3, let's check out the score tracker. Greg Vinson maintains his position at the top of the stack, but the Puma, Stephen Browning, is within striking distance, and Brent Chapman moved back up to the 6th place elimination line. Today, only the top 6 will advance to sudden death, and nobody is out of it yet. While Greg Vinson is in great shape to advance, most of the field will need to do some work if they want to survive elimination. Let's send it over to Marty Stone, who's with Greg Vinson for today's Yeti Cooler Talk.
Fall events are tough, and you're doing a nice job grinding this thing out. This lake almost reminds me a little bit of Lake Martin back in your home neck of the woods.
It is in a lot of ways. You know, I was really happy to look down and see the head of the trolling motor this morning, you know. And so it's different, but it's a similar pattern. It's a drawdown lake, you know, fall drawdown, pulls a lot of the bluegill and the bait fish out, and you have less cover to fish, but it gets more predictable about where they should be. And you know, the toughest thing about this time of the year is the fish are just in all different phases. There's fish that are deep on bait. There's fish roaming the shallows for bluegill and crawfish, so it's really hard to run into them.
Fall of the year, bright bluebird, slick, calm. You guys would probably give anything for a breath of wind, but right now it's your advantage. That finesse jig seems to be the deal.
Yeah, and I had no intention this morning. This time of year and a lake you haven't been on in this format, you know, I totally intended to just be turning and burning today. That early bite this morning, I had already fished 2 or 3 baits around this one particular dock. I noticed some wood around it and nothing. And then I first pitch in there with a jig and I catch a scoreable bass, light bulb goes off, you know. And I thought the fish would transition as the day went on and get around the bait and mix it up and key on that, but the old jig's still hanging in there.
Vinson had to call an audible 180 degrees. Slow and steady's been the key so far today. Great shape to advance to sudden death.
All right, this is it, third period. We're gonna do more of the same.
You know, it's just so tough. I'm not sure what we should go do.
At this point, I think I'm gonna be good. I'll make it a sudden death, but I wanna win.
I'm gonna go back where I lost those 2 fish on that piling, and then I'm gonna just punt. Try something different.
I'm hoping I can go back to that creek where we started and get this deal done.
3, 2, 1, go.
That's the man we after right there.
I better put them in the boat this time.
There's one other marina on the entire lake, or two other marinas right side by side. So that's where we are, and we're gonna give that a shot.
Saving the best period for last.
Hopefully we'll pick up where we left off.
All we got to finish is in 6, boys.
Oh, just had to say something. Get in the boat, a smallmouth, look at that.
1 pound, 4 ounces.
1.4. You know what's crazy is that's where I missed that fish earlier this morning on the crankbait. That sucker smoked it.
Brent Chapman has caught a 1 pound, 4 ounce. He's got 5 pounds, 3 ounces now. He's still in 6th place.
He's in 6 with 5?
With 5.3.
Oh, I'm way out now then.
You need 2 pounds, 6 ounces.
To get into the cut right now?
Yeah.
Woo-wee. That sucks.
Feel a whole lot better. Catch 1 or 2 more. I mean, it's about winning today now.
I hate to double back over this stuff, but maybe they come in the creek and took a right and didn't take a left. I don't know. I mean, that's how this place is fishing.
There he is. Come on, little fella. Maybe. It feels like a pound on the end of my rod. He's got buddies. I caught that one with the forward sonar.
Greg Vincent caught a 1 pound, 2 ounce bass.
See, he's on them biggins.
I really kind of thought we'd catch another one. Wacky rigging like that other marina.
Hey, looky there, they're busting back here. That's a good sign.
I'm seeing a lot of fish bust. They're just chasing bait. I can see them on the Lowrance, but they won't sit still. I mean, they're moving really, really fast.
There he is.
Down there, baby. Get in the boat, yes. Finally saw some fish come up busting.
1 pound, 11 ounces.
111. How about that?
Brent Chapman just caught a 1 pound, 11 ounce. Moved him up to 4th, and that puts you in 6th.
We're holding down the last spot now.
You need 1 pound, 8 ounces to get to 3rd.
I need that to happen again now.
They're gonna start sneaking up on us if we don't catch another one. Let's go back down that stretch that caught him on this morning.
White bass or something. It's a smallmouth, I think. I couldn't tell for sure. Maybe.
1 pound, 4 ounces.
Paul Elias, 2 pounds, 12 ounces behind you.
There's one right there.
God, they just keep moving. It's gonna be hard to keep up with them.
Finally had a bite. I missed him.
Think that was smallmouth busting in them shad. Wouldn't that be something?
There he is. He couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it, and he couldn't stand it. He's gonna get me in trouble. Neither one of us could stand it. Had to do it. I think he's gonna make it.
1 pound, 3 ounces.
Hey, that'll work. That'll work. That's my topwater bite for the day.
Greg Vincent just went to 13 pounds and 2 ounces in 1st.
You can definitely say Greg Vincent kicked our tails today.
He's caught 9 fish.
Now you're 4 pounds, 2 ounces back.
I can afford to catch a couple more then.
All right, which way are y'all going now? They're coming right at me.
Welcome back to General Tire's Major League Fishing. Greg Vincent has extended his lead this period by switching to a topwater and jerkbait offshore, as you can see here in today's favorite fishing overview of the day.
1 pound, 3 ounces.
Right, there we go.
That catch gives Vincent 14-5 for the day, increasing his lead over Stephen Browning and James Elam at the top of the score tracker. Brent Chapman scaled a pair for a little breathing room in 4th place, and Todd Faircloth is now on the bubble in 6th. Behind him, Paul Elias finally scaled another bass, but he and Alton Jones Jr. need to punch the gas if they want to finish in the top 6 and advance to sudden death.
Seems like I get myself in a spot every time, it seems like. I don't like being a bubble boy, but I mean, the 2 guys that are behind me, if they catch 1 or 2 fish, I mean, they'll pass me.
Dadgummit. How did I lose that fish?
Why y'all want to quit now?
Jeff's still in 5th position.
Good. Want to finish in 5th.
How many pounds are we behind, Vincent?
You're 5 pounds, 5 ounces from the lead.
Good. I didn't want to catch a great big one, you know what I mean? And have to throw him back. I don't want to come in first, to be honest with you.
I'd like to finish in 1st, but
You need to catch a couple of good ones.
I need to catch me a few good ones.
There's a whole group out there, if I can keep them biting. But they're just kind of roaming around out over this pocket.
Got him. Get in the boat. 1, 1, 1, 2.
14 ounces, not scoreable.
Come on.
I mean, there's fish all around us, guys. I don't know how to make them bite, though.
There you. Damn. Hope that's a bass. Don't feel like a bass. Golly. Oh, thank you, Lord. Right call on the hair, Jay.
£1 pound, 10 ounces.
Paul Elias just caught his 3rd fish. He's now at 4 pounds and 9 ounces in 7th place.
Wow.
Here he comes.
You gotta catch them when they're up. That's all there is to it, isn't it?
I rarely do go back on a stretch, but it's just so tough right now. I felt like there was more fish here than I caught, for sure.
I'm seeing lots of bait and stuff, just no bass.
A lot of them now seem to be out, you know, just out on the rolls, out off that deep water. And when they're suspended like that, they get hard to catch.
These silly things get out there and they'll be on nothing. One of them old slick spots out there on just something about it where they're hanging for the day.
They're out roaming around looking for bait, swimming all over creation. See if we can intercept them again.
Come on, fish, scoot a little bit. I ain't got any time.
Do 1 pound, 2 ounces behind 6th.
How much time we got?
44 minutes.
I'm trying not to catch a bass now at this point. We might still make something happen here, though. You never know.
Get up in here, Bobby. Got him. Oh, 1, 3. Where you at?
1 pound, 1 ounce.
Ooh, 1, 1. Yeah, ooh. Golly. He had a little belly on him, didn't he? All right. I think there's another one in there. Keep that thing hot there, partner.
Stephen Browning caught a 1 pound, 1 ounce. He's in 2nd with 10 pounds and 1 ounce.
Gotta get me another one.
8 fish total this period.
So they're catching some. That or figuring out what to do.
I'm gonna make about 3 more casts here, and we're gonna go.
I just don't know where we're gonna go because I kind of don't have a lot of confidence in anything right now.
I don't know what else to do. I have not caught anything on a jerk bait. Not caught anything on a top water.
And this is just a little round ball jig. It's a little finesse jig. It's kind of a standard on upland reservoirs like this. It's a lot of rock, and that little round head, it'll crawl over these rocks a little better than, say, a pointed head jig will.
Come on, Paul. You gotta run into him at least one more time.
Oh, oh my gosh, it drives me crazy. I got a whole group under me right now. I mean, they crushed it when they hit it.
There they are right there. Right where they were, Paul.
If I don't catch one by the end of the period, and I make it, I'd be shocked.
Feels like a decent fish, maybe. Dude, there's like a million of them right here. Holy cow, there's like 20 of them with it. He'll at least score. Fish choked it.
1 pound, 6 ounces.
Barely hooked. Oh, thank you, Lord.
2 pounds, 9 ounces.
Thank you, Lord. Yes. You don't know how hard I've worked. Oh.
How to go score tracker update.
There it is, right there.
Paul Elias just caught a 2 pound, 9 ounce fish. It's moved him into 4th place, and that's put you in 7th place. You are 9 ounces behind Jeff Sprague.
Well, Paul Elias needed a big one for this day, and he caught one.
Good for Paul. Called that, didn't I?
Welcome back to General Tire's Major League Fishing for the Academy Sports and Outdoors Heritage Cup, presented by Magellan Outdoors from Knoxville, Tennessee.
2 pounds, 9 ounces.
Thank you, Lord. Yes. You don't know how hard I've worked.
Paul Elias, he's at 7 pounds, 2 ounces in 4th place.
Oh, wow.
That moves Todd Faircloth down to 7th.
Ooh.
Paul Elias is making a move and shaking up the score tracker. He put 2 more in the boat, moving him up to 4th place and putting Jeff Sprague on the bubble. Todd Faircloth dropped down below the elimination line, with Alton Jones Jr. right on his heels. But a scoreable bass would move Faircloth back in. Only 30 minutes remain, and only 6 will survive to fish another day.
Just about got to see them busting before you can get bit, don't you?
Like, the fish are definitely here to get it done. There's no doubt. I wish I'd have started in here is what I wish.
I don't know. I felt real good about coming back out here doing this. It does not seem to have materialized.
Oh, God, I saw him then. Oh, Paul. God dang. There we go. Get in the boat. Yes, baby.
That one should seal the deal.
You kind of answered it right there.
Holy cow, that should seal the deal.
1 pound, 15 ounces.
My best fish of the day. That one right there might send me to the sudden death round. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Holy cow.
Brent Chapman has caught a 1 pound, 15 ounce bass and moved into 3rd place ahead of James Elam in 4th place.
Won't you catch another one, Chapman?
You're in 5th now.
5th?
Yes.
Who caught one?
Brent Chapman.
God dang it.
The deal is, if you finish 2nd, 4th, and 6th, you don't have to fish again until Saturday. My wife's birthday's Thursday. I could go home and spend a day with my wife for her birthday, you see.
Ain't a 2-pounder, but he's a good one.
1 pound, 9 ounces.
Elton Jones Jr. caught another fish. He now has 5 pounds, 13 ounces.
So is
He's in
there
7th.
now?
Jeff Sprague's in 6th with 6'4". So Elton Jones Jr.'s one scoreable bass of beating Sprague.
It's crunch time.
Makes no sense why you can't catch a bass off that.
I'm thinking I'll run back up in this other little deal and take my chances.
These guys figured something out.
15 minutes remaining in the round.
You need 1 scoreable fish.
Come on.
Just waiting on the clock to run out.
Still 5th?
Right now, you're still 5th.
Come on, fish, don't quit yet.
Somebody's gonna catch one. You can count on it. They'll go back to something that, you know, is real juicy. Just, they'll all do that, and somebody will get that bite.
Well, it's really the only place that I feel like has the potential for multiple fish to pull up on. And as quick as I caught those 2 here at the end of the 2nd period, I'm just hoping that maybe 3 or 4 more swam up there.
And I'm looking at some fish herding bait right there. Oh, come on. Just eat my worm. I promise it's tasty.
5 minutes.
Come on, clock.
One pound, 3 ounces. Todd Fairclaw's got a 1 pound, 3 ounce bass. He's now in 6th place. A scoreable fish will still put you into 6th.
Okay.
If you can't catch them, you're wasting your time.
I told you it would happen. Good job, Todd.
Saw some come up right there, and he was a sexy dog out there, and I finally caught one on saltwater.
But I'm still 5th?
You are still 5th.
1 minute.
If I can't just trick a big one right here, that's about all I'm trying to do.
Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, baby.
"30 seconds.
I won't miss it by that much, man.
1 pound, 5 ounces.
1.5. How about that?
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lines out. That's the end of the round.
I'm going home. Sucks.
Guys, I'm in. Excited about that. It was a tough grind today for pretty much everybody, and I just feel fortunate to have advanced to the next round no more than I was on today.
Hey, we fished hard today, and last few minutes, Faircloth came in and caught him one. Good for him.
Hopefully we came in 2nd. No. Dang it!
Brett Chapman caught a 1 pound, 5 ounce bass.
Dang.
He has 10 pounds and 2 ounces. To your 3rd place, 10 pounds and 1 ounce.
I don't deserve it to miss that many stinking fish. But I will say one thing in my favor is thinking about that hair jig right there at the last. It saved me.
Feel good, dude. I think I just weathered a tough day, and that's not easy to do. Been on the other side of that before.
I had the bites, had a few dumb mistakes, and a few mishaps I couldn't control, but it's gonna happen. Still got 2 more cups to go this year.
And looking forward to the next one. Need a little time off though. Need to go lick my wounds. Right at the end, I managed to only catch one, but I tried a whole different area. So I made my mind up the third and final period, come back here where I started, where I caught the 2 original fish and make the most of it, and it did. Paid off. Now we're going to sudden death.
Thank goodness I got that early jig bite, off of something that looked really good, and tried a few baits, nothing, almost left, decided to pitch the jig in there and bang. So that told me a whole lot right there, and sticking with that jig was the key. And then later in the day, they're chasing bait around. Then it's just, throwing the kitchen sink at them, trying to pick one off here and there.
The jig was a big player today. It just caught better, a little bit better quality. Didn't catch very many, only caught 6 scoreable fish all day. But they, 3 of them were good fish, solid fish. And, I think it was definitely the difference maker.
Thankful to be moving on. Sudden death is next.
General Tire's Major League Fishing is brought to you by General Tire. Anywhere is possible. Sig Sauer. Never settle. Abu Garcia. Fish to win. Powered by Optima Batteries. And by Barbasol Shaving Cream and Razors, a close, comfortable shave for the past 100 years.
Today, 8 Major League Fishing pros kicked off Elimination Round 1 of the Academy Sports and Outdoors Heritage Cup on Douglas Lake. Early in Period 1, Greg Vinson and Jeff Sprague took turns at the top of the score tracker.
Thank you, Lord. We're on the board. On the buzzbait.
The Tennessee bass were elusive.
Oh, man. Little rascals, where are you?
And most of the field struggled to find a consistent bite.
Ooh.
Vinson, however, found success using a finesse jig and moved to the top of the stack.
All right, there we go.
In Period 2, James Elam got in on the jig action along steep rock walls, putting 4 in the boat for the lead.
Got a little something going, I think.
But Vinson responded, pulling 3 off shallow docks and rocky banks to regain the top spot, which he would never relinquish in the final period to win his first Heritage Cup elimination round.
There we go. That's what we want right there, y'all.
Let's catch up with Greg Vinson and check out his winning baits in Bass Pro Shop's End of the Line.
Hey, I'm Greg Vinson, and this is the bait that I used to win the elimination round at the Heritage Cup. It's a 3/8-ounce finesse jig, green and purple, with a little Paca trailer, kind of a green pumpkin candy style trailer, and I dyed the tips of the claws chartreuse. And it was something that mimicked either brim or crawfish, and something that I could throw in a lot of different places like docks, rocks, and wood. And hopefully it'll carry me on to the championship.
With today's win, Greg Vinson is advancing to sudden death. He'll be joined by Brent Chapman, Stephen Browning, James Elam, Paul Elias, and Todd Faircloth. Today's Barbasol Close Shave goes to our final sudden death qualifier. It was a 3-man race for the 6th place spot, and Todd Faircloth landed a clutch fish in the final minutes of the round, moving him above the elimination line by less than 1 pound.
Guys, I'm in.
The Berkeley Big Bass of the day also goes to Greg Vinson. He put this 210 in the boat to help solidify his win and advance to sudden death.
2 pounds, 10 ounces.
There we go. There we go.
Let's send it over to Marty Stone, who's with today's winner, the Rooster, Greg Vinson.
A dominant performance. It's not often in these elimination rounds we get an angler to lead first, second, and third period. Nice job today.
Yeah, the whole key was finding a pattern. And once I found a pattern, I felt open to run new water, and that was the key. The first period I fished a couple of areas, keyed on docks, rocks with some wood. But I felt there were just one fish here, one fish there, and I was like, there's no way I can come back and catch fish off this same cover. So it was real key to run new water each period, but stay with the pattern. Yes. And that kept me on fish all day.
Thank you, little fella. We fished late in the day, really got a little bit of the afternoon bite, and I was watching on Score Tracker. Your bite kind of changed. How did the day unfold there in the end?
Well, this time of year, we had a nice warm day. It started out cold this morning. The fish were locked down. They were tighter to cover. Once it warms up, they're coming after the bait. They're ready to go start trashing bait fish like they're doing right here behind us. But it's frustrating because they're hard to keep up with. They're on the move. They're constantly running from one bait ball to the next. And I caught a few this afternoon, but there were bigger schools of fish down there. And I was only catching one scoreable bass out of them each time I was able to intercept.
That's what we want right there, y'all. Greg Benson showing the rest of the field he's going to be a force to be reckoned with this week. A grind of a day, but he comes out on top, hitting a sudden death with a lot of momentum.
Make sure you tune in next week for Elimination Round 2 of the Academy Sports and Outdoors Heritage Cup, presented by Magellan Outdoors from Knoxville, Tennessee. Until then, thanks for watching General Tire's Major League Fishing.
MyOutdoorTV is your home for every Major League Fishing 2023 event,
Yes, sir.
including the new General Tire Team Series.
I put the team on my back, baby.
Watch free on MyOutdoorTV with promo code MLF30.